Our story begins up the eastern coast of Taurius, in the Holy Kingdom of Libitina. 800 years ago, the Holy Kingdom was founded by the demigod Themris and their divine parent Godric. Over the centuries, the kingdom flourished into a monolith of alabaster and marble. Themris left his prince's throne to his Aasimar descendants, and their knight paladins became their noble houses. Through the nightmare that was the divine culling, Libitina was able to establish itself as one of the most prosperous nations in Almora, cities of palaces, fortresses, and glittering blue and silver banners. But their prosperity didn't last. 25 years ago, High Prince Velgrim Themris died mysteriously, survived only by his human daughter Mildred. With the only presumed heir unable to take the throne, the noble houses fell into a civil war. Libitina was scattered into pieces, each one vying for control, either for themselves, the church, or Princess Mildred. It was only with the discovery of Velgrim's secret heir, Kamael, that chaos began to turn back into order. Though he was only 15, the Aasimar Kamael drew the sword Veritas from a sacred tree and re-established Themris' order of personal paladins, the Knights of the Inner Circle. Together, they campaigned across Libitina and began ending the war. Eventually, not only the noble houses, but the church and Princess Mildred herself came to recognize Kamael as High Prince of Libitina. With a descendant of Godric once again on the prince's throne, unity and peace was restored to Libitina. Under the new High Prince, Libitina has flourished, and the Knights of the Inner Circle have had little to do for the past 7 years but quest and face each other in tournaments. You are all Knights of the Inner Circle. For years, you have served your High Prince and your gods faithfully, through war, legendary quests, and now, peace. You have all undergone rigorous tests for Libitina, returned to your castles, and led regions and fortresses in your leader's name. Now, High Prince Kamael has summoned you all to Libitina's capital of Crown Cove for the anniversary of Libitina's founding. You have all answered your summons and ridden to the palace of Themris. Lady Dula, would you please introduce yourself and describe what we see as you enter the palace gates?
All right, so should I do it in character, or?
You don't have to do it in character.
Okay, you said introduce yourself, so I was like...
Introduce your character.
All right, so I am playing Lady Dula. She is an elderly lesser Cyclops, a Oath of Redemption paladin, and she really likes to play for the old granny feel. She wants to be, like, homely and welcoming towards people. And she's a big advocate for peace, being an Oath of Redemption. So that's one of her things. It's like she wants to, how do I put this? She follows the couple gods in this world, who are gods of, like, family. So that's one of her things, is just being this elderly grandmother to everyone.
But you are presumably decked out in, like, full shining armor.
Oh, yeah.
Incredible.
And a lesser Cyclops, so absolutely towering above everyone.
Yeah. Huge, one big eye. As you ride in through the gates, you see Crown Cove, which is the capital of Libitina. Crown Cove is a city that was built in the ruins of old giant structures. So it's almost like the city is two-tiered. Like, one tier of the city and, like, the size of it is built for normal-sized people. But, like, some of the buildings were built for giants, so there's just, like, a second scale that the entire city is operating on. Crown Cove is huge. It's one of the biggest cities on the continent of Taurius, probably in all of Almora. It is, this massive sprawl of shining white castles, palaces, museums, libraries, mage towers, all built out of, like, alabaster and marble. It's built on a cove, so it outlooks onto the shining sea, and like there's these blue and silver banners that flutter overhead. Libitina is mostly populated by humans, genasi, orcs, and dog folk, the K10. So everyone here is like really tall. And so there's like all sorts of people. You see like lots of Warforged moving around in the streets as well. And you move towards the palace of the High Prince, the palace of the Themris family, where presumably you will be meeting the other knights of the Inner Circle that have been summoned by the king. Well, not by the king, by the High Prince. Dame Gale, please introduce yourself and tell us, what we see as you head on in.
Hi, I'm Gale. It's basically doula but child. I'm mad at you. I made mine months ago.
I tried to get Rowan. I was like, Rowan, are we sure we want to have two lessers hang on? But, it's fine.
Yeah, I'm also playing a Cyclops.
It's doula but baby.
Yeah, I'm playing a Cyclops who also follows the couple. We have to be related somehow now.
You're my grandchild.
I like that.
I mean,
yeah, maybe.
One of my grandchildren, probably.
Or you're like my great aunt. Like, I'm the grandchild of your sister. Or your brother. Something like that.
Or like my children's, like... No, that would still be grandchild. I don't know.
I like great aunt, though. So we're not, like, directly right under you, but, like, we're still related.
All right.
Anyway, I'm playing Galeheart. She is a lesser Cyclops with kind of tan skin and this kind of curly, short-cropped, chin-length hair, brown. And she's not quite as tall as a lesser Cyclops would normally be, but she is very soft-bodied. And you can kind of tell because of the way her armor is built around her. She's a little bit wider than a normal person. I am playing a Paladin, of course, Oath of the Ancients. So I'm going to be interested to play that.
Okay.
Yeah, she's got green eyes, and also she has... Green eye, yeah. She's got one green eye, and she has, like, a little... Not a bouquet, but, like, a little clump of flowers in her hair.
Wonderful.
Also, can you mention what her name inspiration is from, please?
No, we don't have to do that right now.
No.
We gotta, get through everyone's introductions.
Look, it's Knights of the Round Table. Her name is Galeheart. For those who know it, it's not that hard to piece together.
Yeah. So next up in the order is Sir Nix. Please introduce yourself.
So amongst all of the tall people, we see a hammer just poking out seemingly on its own. And
the hammer is normal sized for everyone else here.
Yes. Please. And as you look down, you see me, Nix. Nix is a forest gnome, is 3 feet tall. So that's cool, with everyone being gigantic.
Yeah. We're like twice your size.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And this gnome is clad in studded leather armor, with 2 hammers on them. One has a big hammer and a smaller hammer, and the smaller hammer... It's okay if this isn't actually an if it's like too not serious, but I kind of I'm thinking that it has the word bonk across the part where it hits people.
You can absolutely have inscribed a bonk onto your hammer.
Perfect. So yeah, it has carved in it the word bonk across the part that it smacks people.
Beautiful.
And yeah, this forest gnome has fluffy and like a seafaring pair, if that makes sense.
Yes.
I'm like a surfer dude. I don't know.
It's got like that wind tousled look to it.
Yeah, absolutely. And just a little gnome, and they have green hair as well.
Wonderful. And coming in behind you, Sir Phoenix the Witch Knight. Would you introduce yourself, please?
All right, I am playing Sir Phoenix Macarena, also known as the Witch Knight, because I am the outlier here, and I am playing a Warlock Paladin. A lot more in Warlock than Paladin, because I like Warlock better. And they are a non-binary Cinder Genasi of the Macarena noble family, actually. So they're actually part of the nobility. They have long, vivid red hair, with a few braids down the sides. They have the ash gray skin, and like gray eyes, and they wear chainmail armor and then they have one long sword that is bright blood red. So that is Phoenix. They're Phoenix.
Wonderful. Okay. So, welcome everyone to a one-shot we are hosting in our Pillar Arisen setting. This is going to be DM'd by me as usual, but our players and Robin, our returning guest star, will be playing all Paladin characters as we do a little Oops All Paladins one-shot set in an area of the setting, because I thought there was some important stuff happening in this section in the world that we should get the camera on. And what better way to do that than to make everyone play Paladins?
Yeah, we seem to be stuck down there, so we won't get here for a bit.
Yeah, and also it's just Riley on his Arthurian Knight bullshit.
Maybe.
It's not a maybe, it's an absolute.
Maybe so.
You know what? Sometimes you just gotta have a couple of nights in your life, you know?
It's more than a couple, Robin. Don't give us that.
No one knows for sure. This could be done for any number of reasons. Those are all our characters. And like I said, you are all Knights of the Inner Circle, which is the premier adventurers guild in Libitina. It is both the most famous and powerful adventuring guild in the entire country, while also being like the king's personal guard, while also being like a sect of knights that dates back 800 years to antiquity. Well, not to antiquity, but you know, it's a very ancient, prestigious order of knights that has been around for 800 years. And most of the noble families of Libitina have many, many family members in it at one point or another. It is Katma, month of the lion, and tomorrow is Crown Day, which is the anniversary of Libitina's founding by Themris, which was the demigod child of Godric, who is the god of war, strength, heroes, and unity. And so you have all been summoned by the High Prince, Kamael, who you went on this 2-year-long adventure / campaign on 7 years ago. So 10 years ago, you all were convinced by this little kid to take up arms and become this holy order of knights, and you stopped an entire war from happening.
Dang, we really grinded because we're level 15 now. So
yeah,
that was
you're level 15.
That was quite the adventure.
You did an entire D&D campaign that was just all set over here about putting Kamael back on onto the throne, and you did it, and you finished the campaign, and then after that, well, you kind of all had to settle into, peacetime, which meant less adventuring around as, this big adventuring party and buddies, and more, you all went your separate ways. Some of you went to, maintain the wall. Some of you were sent to, get rid of certain monsters that were terrorizing the people. Some of you had to settle into governing positions in the land.
I got a vote.
And you've been doing that for 7 years. How your characters adjusted to that peacetime, you can decide for yourself.
I will say this first and foremost. Phoenix adjusted badly.
Phoenix adjusted badly.
Listen! So the reason why for in character why Phoenix has more Warlock than Paladin is that Phoenix didn't really believe so much in following like a crown really and everything like that until the High Prince came along, and so after that Phoenix really like went into that and became a paladin during that of Godric with the Oath of Crown, but for most of their life they were Hexblade Warlock of Mariella, kind of an outcast of the family, really only could get recognition through winning tournament fights.
Yeah. You have spent your entire life overshadowed by your sister, Rena Macarena, who is also in the Order, is also Knights of the Inner Circle. So you're probably pretty excited that you got called to the capital for the anniversary of Libitina's founding. And she was not. She is back at the Flame Knight's fortress and is bored out of her damn mind.
Oh, absolutely. This is one of the only times Phoenix is like, I got called in.
So you probably all meet at the palace gates. You can tell me how you arrived and, you passed through the city, but you all converge on the Palace of Themris kind of at the same time. You can, what do we see as you guys pull up? How did you get here? Are you riding a horse? Did you walk? What are your reactions to seeing each other for the first time in a very long time?
Well, as a Cyclops, it's a little difficult to get a mount that fits.
Not in Libitina.
You're right.
The horses are beefy here.
It's probably harder for me to get a mount that fits.
Nyx did have to walk.
Oh no! It's a good thing Nyx comes from, the bordering country.
All the horses were too big.
Nyx would have had, but Nyx has tiny little legs, so the walk would have taken even longer.
Remind me again which city we're at right now?
You are at Crown Cove, which is the capital. It is it is put on the center of that inland area.
Yeah, I see it. All right, cool. I took a boat, so it worked.
Oh yeah, so you rode a boat here. Lovely. Yeah.
I definitely went on a horse because from the fortress that's a long way.
Yes. The continent of Taurius is roughly equivalent to the size of South America or Africa. It's in between there. And so Libitina covers a truly staggering amount of space.
So yeah, I took a horse, definitely reminiscent of that you said 2 years? That 2-year kind of trek?
Oh, you haven't the entire Knights of the Circle haven't been convened in 7 years.
Oh, yeah. I know, I was thinking of
It's been a very long time. The war took about 2 years.
Yeah, it was reminiscent of, when they were all traveling across then, but I can definitely say...
I should also say... there are 12 Knights of the Inner Circle. There are always 12 seats. The 13th seat is always reserved for the High Prince, and then there is So there are 13 like members overall, but in reality, the Knights of the Inner Circle are 12 members, and you will be playing but 4 of them. Maybe others have been called to the capital, but probably not all of them, since we get a shot of Rena Macarena, who is a Fire Genasi paladin of cleansing. She is this beautiful woman with orange, shining skin. Her hair is like red flames that goes down her back in a waterfall, and she is like in full red and armor with golden highlights, and she is just like sitting in like a small throne, just wailing. Just bored out of her mind, just screaming.
Sucks to me!
Yeah, just miserable. She has like a phoenix next to her that's like cooing and trying to nuzzle her to cheer her up, and she's just like, no! It's not fair!
She's so mad that her more feral younger sibling got called.
This sucks!
Go ahead.
Gale came in on a Parison, which I did not know what that was until just now. I have the ability to summon creatures to me, and a Parison is kind of like a griffin, but it is the body and head of a deer, wings of an eagle or other bird, and feet of birds.
Also, the deer face does have fangs.
Yes.
That's
amazing.
Horrifying!
I love it.
I'll say Lady Dula came in with a caravan.
Wonderful.
Not her caravan, but she joined one along the way and had a nice time of meeting new people and telling stories and sharing food.
Lovely.
I tried to make the most druidic paladin that I could without multi-classing into druid.
I love it. Okay, so you all arrive and you see each other at the gates. It's your friends. It's your old war buddies.
Hey, it's been a while since I've seen you guys.
Oh my gosh, what is Gale called Dula?
So Dula goes by Lady Dula, Sister Dula, Granny Dula, or certain people she likes, and children are allowed to call her Dee Dee.
I thought of Auntie. My first thought was Auntie because it's like...
Auntie is, because specifically Gale being...
Oh my gosh, you know how great Uncle is Grunkle? Grunty.
Grunty.
Grunty Dula.
I love that.
They're both so bad. I'm not doing Grunty. That sounds terrible.
It rules. I'm making it canon.
That's what she used to call her when she was younger and couldn't figure out the word for like grand aunt. There we go.
If you don't call her Grunty Dula, Dula is absolutely going to rub it in that you used to call her Grunty Dula.
Yeah.
You're stuck. You came up with that. You're stuck now, Jamie.
Hi, Miss Dula. We haven't seen in a while.
Oh, sweetie, it's so good to see you again. Oh, and there's no need to call me Miss. You can just call me Grunty like you used to.
I was so young, though.
Oh, sweetie, you're still so young.
Her cheeks like all puff up.
Wonderful.
Dula is absolutely pulling food out of her bag. Sweets.
I imagine Phoenix just looks at Dula and goes, Lady Dula, where'd you get that?
Lady Dula was absolutely vital on the front lines, seeing as she was, you had a party of 14 members, and Lady Dula was one of the 2 that could cook.
Oh, probably.
Absolutely vital.
Phoenix tried, Phoenix burned the food. No one allowed Phoenix to cook after that.
I think that Nyx does cook, but just like, seafood stuff and stuff that can last a long time because they're just used to being in a boat. Their whole personality is boat. I'm realizing this now.
Nyx just makes hardtack for everyone.
Yeah, exactly. And so everyone's like,
Gale is definitely vegan.
Oh, wonderful. So, you all see each other, you get off your mounts, you run, you start talking, and, you haven't seen each other in a long time. Lady Dula starts passing around baked goods, and as you're all, you all start eating baked goods, and you head into the palace, at which point, the gate is closed behind you. As you're walking, you are some of the most powerful people on the continent, so all of the guards bow in respect and reverence to you. You see several priests, make signs of the gods as you walk by and gesture at you. And, just this entire place is filled with overwhelming respect for the kind of people that you are and the service you've done this country. And then there's a small explosion in the hallway. And
I run.
Stumbling out of a cloud of purple-blue fumes is Liminus, the Archwizard.
Already love this person.
Yeah.
He kind of falls out of the cloud and hits the ground and drops to his knees. He is a wizened, archaic-looking blue tiefling. He has faded, very light blue skin and long, swirling, light blue horns. His hair is it goes down to about his waist, and is pure white. And he has a beard that also pure white goes down to just about his waist length as well. He wears a big, huge, gray, floppy wizard hat that seems to sparkle like it's got glitter in it. And he is wearing gray wizard robes that also seem to have silver and gold trimming. And his eyes are just purple pools of light that are crackling at all times. He cannot turn it off. And he is holding a wizard's staff. This is Liminus the Archwizard. He wasn't one of the Knights of the Inner Circle, but he served with you during the war, and he's one of the people that found Prince Kamael and helped train Kamael to become High Prince and take over the kingdom one day. And it's unclear.
I wonder who he could be a stand-in for.
It's unclear how old he is, but what is even more unclear is how sane he is. Over the years of knowing this man, you've all kind of gotten the impression that, all the D&D monsters where it's this was a mad wizard at one point, and then they messed around with something and they couldn't do it right, and then they got turned into a monster, or they made this monster and died, or this wizard learned a thing and the arcane knowledge broke his brain in half. You know those stories?
Yeah.
He knows all that stuff. All that stuff, he knows it. It is in his brain, and it is unclear the kind of damage it has done to him. He is still alive. He is still kicking. He still serves as the court wizard, but Liminus is maybe not all the way there.
We're all just it's only a matter of time before maybe.
Yeah. He drops down to his knees and he's like, thank goodness you're all here.
I pull out my hammers and where's the problem?
There is none. I teleported down from upstairs, and if I wasted the magic to come down here and it wasn't someone important, then it would have been a waste. But you all are important people. Yes. Could someone pick me up? I'm on the ground.
And Phoenix just helps him stand and pats him on the shoulder and goes, "You are always kind of eccentric, good to see you again."
Ha! Yes. Well, when one has lived as long as I, you learn to dispense with the pleasantries and focus 100% on your goals.
You've telling yourself that.
Yes.
Well, I sure hope I don't happen to live as long as that.
I doubt you will.
I find the pleasantries of life quite pleasant.
Wait, hold up. How old are you?
What?
How old are you?
Oh, we've had this conversation before.
It's been years, been out in the ocean.
Right. Well, I am collectively, I want to say 850.
Alright, that's fair. I don't want to live that long, so that's valid.
What does collectively mean?
Well, you see, I have used the arcane magics to prolong my life.
Okay.
Nope.
You see, whenever
Nope.
I get too old and I'm about to die, I create a clone of myself, but I stop the aging process. So the clone is roughly the size of a young child, about 5 years old. And then when I croak from old age, my mind and all of my arcane knowledge is transferred into the young body, and I continue my studies from that point. And I will do this until the heat death of the universe, or I have mastered all arcane knowledge and I can ascend.
Okay, cool story, buddy.
I didn't need to know that.
Heat death of the universe?
Maybe. I don't know. Could be a cold death.
I don't know if that's something that this world has discussed yet.
Seems like it'd be hot, though. Like I was saying.
If there was someone who in this world who knew quantum theory and like how the universe was going to collapse and stuff, it probably would be this guy, though.
Yeah, absolutely.
It quite means that collectively, he was there at the original colony.
Yes, and I will be again. Once I have mastered all arcane knowledge and I know everything there is to know about magic, I will use that arcane power to send myself back in time and orchestrate the situations that led to my own birth. Maybe not my brother's birth, maybe I'll kill my brother. But at that point, once I've guaranteed the cycle of my life as an infinite paradox, I will then, I don't know, go up to the highest plane and...
But if you go
marry the goddess of magic, maybe?
Listen.
But if you go back in time to kill your brother, then your brother wouldn't exist to kill your brother in the first place. So then you wouldn't need to go back in time to kill your brother. So that creates then you wouldn't be going back in time.
No.
And that's why I need to read more books.
Too much. Phoenix, just nope. I'm done. I'm done.
I go. Well, the high seas will teaches you a lot about time travel.
No,
Sure, man.
I swear to God, I will pick you up and I don't know, throw you.
No, I'm sorry. Walk it back. The high seas teaches you about time travel?
No.
Well, listen.
Phoenix just walked out of there. Phoenix is walking. Phoenix has had enough of this.
I gotta buy a boat.
I've seen some wild stuff out there.
Oh, yeah, sure. You must have, right? With Phoenix quickly speed walking down the hallway, Luminous snaps back and is like, right, yes, I came to fetch all of you and take you to the High Prince chambers. Kamael has summoned all of you here, along with some of your blood brothers, for tomorrow, the big day. And it's important... because...
You don't remember, do you?
I don't. Fully forgot what we were talking about. And it's wild, right? Because I was upstairs...
Nope, we're gonna go.
In the chamber, and I was talking to Kamael, and I said...
We're gonna go to
Kamael, I hope that they arrive at some point. And he said, yes, it's very important that we gather them all so that we can talk about the thing. And I said, yes, of course. The situation with the thing is very dire.
Phoenix just grabs onto a horn and just starts dragging Luminous by the horns while he's talking towards the stairs.
Well, perhaps if we go see him, he can tell us himself.
Probably. So you carry the wizard in one hand, and you all head upstairs. And you come to the king's chambers, or here the High Prince's chambers. Libitina refuses to recognize anyone but their original king as king, Themris, the demigod founder of it. So every king after that, which has all been, the descendants of Themris that carry holy blood, they call the High Prince, because they refuse to Themris is king. Themris hasn't died yet. Themris is divine, so Themris will always be king, and therefore the title can't be passed on. So anyone who rules is just ruling instead of their ancestor, and so therefore the ruler is called the High Prince. So you come into these chambers, and it's this massive, huge room with this huge throne that is built for like a giant, like a being that's like 27 feet tall. And then in the foot basis of it has been carved out a section that is this much smaller human-sized throne.
Perfect.
And there's this huge, narrow stained glass window behind it that depicts Godric, Themris, and then the Holy Line of Kings, the Holy Line of High Princes behind it. And you all see the High Prince, Kamael Elther Themris. Kamael is a very powerful crown paladin. He is an Aasimar. So you see him, he is wearing white armor, which is covered in gold and silver highlights. His skin is like a shining burnished silver. It's like an inhuman skin tone. It's like a purified metal almost. And he has these lines of gold inlay tattoos all across his body. He has kind of a chin-length flop of red hair and has like a small prince crown circlet around it. And his eyes are they're like a golden whitish color. He is 25 tomorrow. And he smiles at you as you all come in. He's very excited to see all of his friends and knights. Kameo smiles and he gets up and he heads pretty quickly towards you all, not very becoming of royalty, but he kind of like speed rushes through this massive hall and gives each of you...
You said he was going to be 25 tomorrow?
He's going to be 25 tomorrow.
Cool, Galehart's younger than him.
Yep.
I was going to say that Phoenix is probably not much older, probably only a year or two, and also, just Riley, out of character. I love him!
Yeah, I'm glad.
So much!
I call out, happy early birthday, friend!
Thank you, Nix! He bends down, gets on his knees, and gives you the biggest hug he can manage in full plate. He's like, obviously celebrations have been planned, but I want to keep it toned down, and I mostly want to focus on the kingdom's anniversary. I don't want it to be, about me. I want it to be about the peace that we've managed to establish, which is why I summoned all of you here. I'm so glad you're all here. He hugs each of you, and he gets up, and he gestures and he says, "We're waiting for 3 more of the Paladin Knights."
Phoenix very, just like kind of sussing it out, goes, 1.
The first chair, Sir Sabermore, he should, he arrived here earlier, but he said he had something else to do. But he's already here.
Sorry, Riley.
Yeah, Sir Sabermore.
Sabermore.
Yeah, Sabermore.
Well, when you don't have enough, Saber.
Yeah. If you can't lance a lot, you can saber more.
Oh, gotcha. There we go.
Yeah, definitely not in reference to Lancelot.
And Sir Caspian also arrived last week, actually. And he'll be along shortly, too. And obviously, Sir Hallister has been serving in the castle for ages, so I just have to call. But they'll all be here, too. Unfortunately, we have some kind of dire news that I'd like to speak with you all about, and I don't want it to spread right before Crown Day, so it's I'm not gonna lie, it's not great. And he looks kind of sadly at Nyx.
Well, is there anything we can help with?
Hopefully. It's just a matter of waiting for everyone to arrive. How have you all been?
Well,
Phoenix blanches at that.
It's been ages. Me and Philia have been doing really well. And he really briefly describes Kamael got married a little bit ago to Philia Aspasia, who is a beautiful orc woman from Lilymont, which is a nearby town, and she is serving as the High Princess, and is his wife. They haven't had any children yet, but they've been married for not 7 years, but like for a few years, and so they have a very happy relationship. Oh, and of course, Mildred has been doing well. She's been actually helping me with this situation, so she's kind of stressed at the moment, and unfortunately, she won't be here. She told me to send her regards.
How sweet.
But how have you all been? Enough about me.
I've been fantastic. I've been exploring the open seas, been enjoying that. Had a bit of a couple of weird encounters, but, other than that, we're all good.
Yeah, I've been hearing that the seas have been getting more dangerous lately.
You know what they say about the seas. They just get more and more crazy these days, But, I don't know. It's been just a chill ride, I've been just trying to chill out, keep things, happy.
Sometime you should take me on a boat. I've never actually really been on one long term, since I can fly everywhere.
I look over at you, I'm like, you have never been on a boat long term, and we have been friends how long?
I can fly places, so I don't need to be on a boat for very long.
I've never been on a boat, and I hope I never will.
Wait, did we not all go on a boat ride together at one point? That's crazy. We fought in a war for 2 years. And
no naval combat. It was really strange.
No naval combat, not even once.
Yeah, not even once. That's crazy.
The odds of that is astonishing. Wait, no, we did that fight on the...
Oh, you know what? You know what it was? We had another group. It was another chunk. It was one of those, what's his name? Oh, heck,
We outsourced the naval combat?
No. Half of the knights were on the boats, the other half were on the land. It was a really cool... Remember Battle of Monmouth and... is that a real place?
Monmouth? Probably. That sounds right. If it wasn't real before, it is now.
Okay. Oh, I was worried about it being real.
I was a part of a sea battle, but I wasn't part of the ship part. I flew around again.
Nope.
Crazy.
Though, to be fair, we probably would need to, side note, just out of character moment. Would Fire Ganassi be setting things on fire easily?
They can set things on fire easily, but Fire Genasi are not naturally inflammatory unless they want to be.
Cool. All right.
No,
okay.
As a Cinder Genasi, though, just...
But there is a Fire Genasi in the Knights of the Inner Circle, so that's why.
Yeah. That's
fair.
Yeah, just not a fan. Phoenix likes to burn things.
Yeah.
Can't do that on water.
Anyway, I do a lot of traveling on land, which is mostly what I've been doing for these past few years, but sometime you should take me on a boat ride.
Yeah, that would be fantastic. Let's absolutely do that.
We should all go on a boat ride. We should get Nyx to take us all on a boat ride.
We gotta have a boat ride montage.
Oh, dearie me, the sea does not agree with me. I believe I will be sitting that one out.
Auntie Dula! Oh, that's a shame.
I know. It's just, all those waves, I can't... They say keep your eye on the horizon, and I find that quite difficult.
Oh, does that not work for lesser Cyclopses?
Well, perhaps not for me.
Huh.
Well, we do only have the one eye, so I guess perspective and...
It'd be easier
There's
to get...
the obligatory eye joke. We had to have one this episode. We had to have an obligatory eye joke.
There will be more than
there
one.
will be, I'm sure.
That's fair. That is fair.
The last lesser Cyclops that was introduced in this setting, they kept casting blindness on.
Yeah.
Oh no.
It was so bad.
Listen, I didn't want to hurt him.
And I have taken precautions for this.
And we had to make him blind, the entire
blinding.
battle.
I have taken so many precautions against blindness, you guys.
Lady Dula, what have you been up to for, 7 years?
Oh, yes, I have actually been visiting my extended family.
Oh, that sounds wonderful. How are they?
Well, they're doing quite well here and there across the country, and in between, I've been traveling with caravans, which I've found to be quite the lively parties.
Oh, I wish. It has been a while since I was in a caravan. The governing doesn't leave a lot of room for it, apparently.
Yeah, you seem like you've been all pinned up and stuck in here. You should get out more.
I can't complain because this palace was built for someone 27 feet tall, so it has a lot of room.
But you can't exactly climb too much.
It's not, fresh scenery or anything like that. Phoenix, how goes things at the Chimera houses? How's Ash Ridge?
Same as always.
Well, that's good, I suppose. Send my best to your sister once this is all taken care of.
You can see, Phoenix, it's like, that's great. You can see, everyone else can see, it's very much for Phoenix, not.
Yeah. Kamael is too polite. He can tell you're not vibing, but he doesn't want to push the issue, so he's just gonna pretend like he can't tell.
Yeah, no, and you know what? Phoenix appreciates it.
And it's at that point that one of the guards over in the corner kind of go, Your Highness, the other knights of the inner circle that you summoned. And the doors open, and coming in are 3 more of the knights of the circle that you all served with. Leading them is Sir Sabermore. He is a tall, handsome, shredded water genasi. He is maybe one of the buffest members of the order. He is dressed in almost half armor, but like the armor on his chest area is left open, so he kind of has like an unbuttoned, like deep V situation going on.
That's so impractical.
His skin is like light.
He's got the boob window.
Yes, he has a.
Exactly.
He has a boob window. His skin
I
is
think that's hilarious, but Gale like blushes and looks away a little.
His skin is like a light blue. It's always like just like a little bit wet, so it looks like he just got out of a shower or like was swimming.
Riley!
I'm not done.
He's played by Jason Momoa.
He might be.
We have Aquaman on our side. We're good.
We kind of do!
He has long blue hair down to his shoulders, and he kind of has like not quite it's in that position where it's not 7 o'clock shadow anymore, but it's not a beard yet. He has like a blue kind of like facial hair coming in around his jawline. He comes in. He is carrying like a long sword at his side. He's dressed in white and blue armor. He smiles at you all and waves, and kind of quickens his stride as he comes in. Behind him is Sir Alistair, who is captain of the guard here. Sir Alistair is Kamael's adoptive brother. He is a 7-foot-tall husky Shiba mix man. He's 7 feet tall, wide, impossibly wide, covered in full armor. He's a K10, a dog folk, but the dog breed that he is half Shiba, half husky mix. He's like 7 feet tall, massive. He has his battle axe for some reason, and it's not in any. He's just holding it like a security blanket. And he comes in, and his tail wags when he sees you all. And trailing in behind is Sir Caspian. Sir Caspian is smaller and kind of thinner, but he kind of has like pretty boy vibes. He has long hair that he's pulled back into like a messy bun. And he is carrying a longbow. He is dressed in leather armor as well, and like a long cape. And when you all met him, he was a bard. And
Tristan.
I was gonna say
as he spent time with you all, like Sir Phoenix, he was inspired to take up knighthood and become a paladin, and he's been serving as one of the Knights of the Inner Circle ever since he met. When you guys first met him, he just wanted to be...
It was quite the bardic inspiration?
Exactly.
Oh my god.
When you first met him, he didn't want anything to do with combat or the war. He just kind of wanted to follow you around, write down your exploits so he would have good songs later. And as time went on...
I'm going to be the first one to tell this story.
Exactly. And as time went on, he was like, this is getting ridiculous. And then just whipped out a sword and ran out there.
I want to say as each of them come in, I call out their names. I'm like, Sir Sabermore, Sir Alistair, Sir Caspian.
Yeah.
Aww.
I would like to state what I was trying to say, Riley, with Sabermore. You really went full in on this is like the deal. Like, you really went in on that, huh? You really went in.
The thing about Lancelot is that he's hot and better than everyone. And so when I was making his analog, I was like, well, I guess he needs to be hot and better than everyone.
Yeah, no kidding.
I also call out, like, you guys haven't aged a day. How are you guys?
You would say that, Nix, you scoundrel! Come here! And Sabermore rushes over and like gives you a hug, picks you up momentarily in a bear hug and sets you down and goes, fellow sea paladin, put her here, and goes to like give you a fist bump.
Of course, I return it.
Oh my gosh. I just realized that these guys haven't seen Gale for like 7 years, which means if she's younger than the prince, he's 25, she's 24. She was like 17?
Yeah, last time they saw her.
She's grown up a lot since they last saw her.
Yeah.
I don't understand. Why do lesser Cyclops only live like the span of humans when normal Cyclops live like 5 centuries?
I didn't realize how long Cyclopses lived. I thought I was confusing their age with a different thing. So I am gonna adjust that slightly.
Okay. Yeah, I was like, that's a little...
Yeah, I think lesser Cyclopses have roughly a half or a little under half the lifespan of Cyclopses. So if Cyclops lives to be around like 5 centuries, so like 500, let's say that generally the oldest are like 250. Yeah, we'll say that.
Okay. Yeah, that's not too bad. That's nice in between human lifespan.
Yeah, but I imagine though that they've come to maturity probably
Really?
I think it said that Cyclops come to maturity at 15 years old, so...
If Gale is a year younger than Camael, that means when she served in the war, she would have been 14. So
oh my God.
Wait, so it was 3 years earlier than the 7-year gap?
It's been 10 years since the war. 2 of those years were the war, and then there was a 7-year gap of peace till now.
Yeah, so
I mean, if Cyclops has come of age at 15, yeah.
Yeah.
She was an anime protagonist.
Every single one of these people in here were present for your puberty.
Yes.
Oh my God,
Good.
yeah.
I love it.
Lady Dula is just like, well, I was around to make sure she was safe.
Yeah.
Yeah, Phoenix was also was a freaking teenager. There was just these, but this was a very...
That's another reason they really needed Lady Dula around. Someone who can mother these teens.
There are too many teenagers.
Okay, well... everyone goes around hugging each other. There's a lot of hugging. There's a lot of, like, patting on the back. Alistair is really awkward about it, but his tail is wagging really, really hard. So you all, like, have to go over by him and pat him, and he's like...
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Gale gives him, head scritches behind the ear.
That's a little... Okay.
He's like, that feels so good.
I respect their boundaries and what they like, but I do want to pet the dog if that's okay.
It's a habit, because she used to do that as a kid.
Yeah, that was...
It's an inner joke. Caspian goes over and says hi to Dula. Sabermore talks a lot about like how the sea's been with Nyx. I imagine Alistair and Phoenix are like the awkward ones.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
There's I imagine Phoenix really is only not super awkward around the High Prince.
Unfortunately, I've summoned you all here for something rather major. Obviously, calling 7 of the Knights of the Inner Circle together is, call for concern. But hopefully, we can keep this under wraps. I've only discussed this with Liminus, and my sister, Philia, doesn't even know. He crosses his arms and looks kind of sadly at Nyx for a moment and goes, a border dispute has erupted in Larkwood recently.
So, really quick, I would say that, Nyx normally has, a smile on their face all the time, but this wipes it straight off.
I don't know why or how this has come to be. As far as I know, this has never been an issue before, but Refuge is claiming that Larkwood is part of its territory and wants full lumber rights to the area and full rights to the town of Larkwood as well. It's unclear why they've done this, and frankly, over the years, the exact measure of the border has kind of been fudged since we mostly have been relying on that mountain range to separate us. But Larkwood is right at the edge of the mountain range and Corinth's forest. And so this has never come up before, but all of a sudden they want full access to the town. Unfortunately, there are many Libitina citizens in that town, not to mention intermingled families, families of descent from both nations, like yours, Nyx. And we have politely declined to cede the land to Refuge. They've been mountingly aggressive about this. I've sent Mildred with 2 of the Knights of the Inner Circle there to hopefully negotiate peace and come up with a contract that would make everyone happy in the situation. And I haven't heard back from them in some time. I imagine it is only time before conflict erupts in Larkwood itself, or Refuge makes a move to take it. I don't want mounting panic before Crown Day, especially considering we are, 7 years out of a civil war. So if I could maintain this peace and the idea that Libitina is once again whole and strong without upsetting the citizens or causing war, that would be best.
I see. That is quite concerning.
Obviously, nothing has happened yet, but we haven't received any word from Mildred at all, or the knights that I sent with her. Sir Cassius and Dame Melanie. None of the 3 of them have reported back.
Well, Sir Prince, or whatever you say, whoever the prince.
Your Majesty, we've known each other for a decade at this point. We don't need to stand on formality.
I feel sorry for possibly missing your birthday, but I would like to head over there as soon as possible.
I'm glad that you would like to, because that's actually why I've called you all here. Sir Sabermore, Sir Hallister, and Sir Caspian, I've called to the capital to provide increased security during this time in case Refuge makes an attack. But also to make an appearance during Crown Day. There will be a small tourney that they'll all participate in, which will, hopefully raise morale and, not make anyone think that there's cause for alarm. with 3 of the Knights of the Inner Circle participating, hopefully everyone will be in high spirits and be excited for the tournament and the celebrations and festivities tomorrow.
I think that is a very good idea.
You 4, Dame Gale, Lady Dula, Ser Nyx, and Ser Phoenix, I will be asking you to travel to Larkwood and meet with my sister and the other knights and hopefully straighten all this out. Preferably without it coming to war, but if that isn't an option, you're all incredibly proficient knights. And if it were to go bad, I would want you all there to protect the village.
You know that I would do everything in my power to avoid any sort of conflicts. You have my word.
Wonderful.
You know I'm always willing to lend a helping hand.
Nyx is very, shows emotions a lot, and it doesn't hide them very much. And is clearly, a little bit fuming right now, and is of course, it will be done as soon as possible.
And, if it does come down to it, protect that place with my life. Even though you're taking me out of the tournament.
I couldn't put you in the tournament and not include Renna. She'd come for my head. We get another shot of Renna, who is currently throwing her lance at a mannequin. She throws the lance through the head, and then the entire mannequin bursts into flames.
Oh.
And she goes, "Nice, yes." Still got it. And then it cuts back. Obviously, you've all traveled a long way to get here, and I would like you to be able to partake in some festivities. So you'll rest here today. Eat, drink, be merry, catch up with your friend, spend time in the city, partake in celebration. And tomorrow morning, on the morrow, I will have Luminous teleport you all to Larkwood.
Well, that's nice.
Yes!
Obviously said with a very, grimacing smile.
Don't worry, my aim with teleportation is never off. Everyone's like, ah! The camera pans out wider to reveal Luminous has also been in the room the entire time. He came in at some point. It's unclear when.
If we don't come back, it's because of that asshole. Phoenix waits right at Luminous.
Phoenix.
Are we certain that they actually were the 3 knights you said before were actually sent, to the right place?
But of course, my aim with teleportation is never off.
Sorry, that was out of it.
Oh, okay.
I can hear in the meta.
Out of character, no way of knowing. No possible way.
Watch it was just, he messed up, he goofed.
You see, Mildred couldn't send a message back because she was actually on the other side of the continent.
You teleported her onto the other side of the world.
She's not even on the continent of Torius anymore. She's in
She's on a different plane.
Yeah. She's in fantasy Japan, and she's just looking at a map, and she's like, how the hell?
I don't know what
she's
any of this
in real
means.
Japan.
Oh no.
She's in real modern day Japan.
Exactly.
Oh no.
What the hell is this pink and white cat I keep seeing?
It just shows the Japanese policeman standing outside, wondering with a police car, wondering if they are supposed to write her a ticket or something.
Oh, she's just in cosplay.
Talking in Japanese, and she's just
Oh, great.
It's absolutely just Enchanted, the movie.
Yes.
Okay, so I'll leave it all up to you. If you'd like to spend some time here, if you want to talk to anyone about any other information or, anything, you absolutely can. If you just want to say, you party and then go to bed, you absolutely can. At this point, I've delivered way too much exposition and character introduction, so I'm going to take a step back, and the floor is yours. The rest of the plot is in your hands.
will we be needing to get any, like, rations or anything in this one shot, or is that just gonna be covered?
This is a one shot. You are all level 15 people who are like the most famous knights in this
We
entire
don't need food.
There's a good chance you don't need food. And even if you did, there's nothing to say that you wouldn't have, entire castles worth of gold to spend it on, or that you wouldn't just walk up to someone and be like, "Hi, I'm a knight of the inner circle. I need some food." And they wouldn't just be like, "Oh yeah, absolutely. Here you go, national hero." That could obliterate my entire village off the map with a single swing. Like, have a turkey. So presume that you don't have to worry about rations for this.
Sounds great.
Okay. Still not used to it in our regular life.
Well, in your regular game, you're a bunch of nobodies.
Who also happen to be thieves.
Except for Kaya.
Yeah, maybe one day you'll get at the point where I'm like, you're so rich and important that it doesn't matter. You have food some way. Or maybe you'll die.
Oh! I do have something that I wanted to ask Dula.
Yeah.
If you don't mind a little bit of roleplay.
Oh, of course. Let's go ahead. What is it?
Yeah. A real quick little backstory on Gale, because she has something that she wants to ask about the backstory that you probably don't know.
Okay, yeah.
But when she left the town to go become a knight, she had defended the town from this big terrifying monster, and everyone was like, "Wow, you're so cool! That was amazing! You should do something about it." That gave her the courage to be like, "Yeah, maybe I could be a knight." And then she decided to go try it, and it worked out. But when she left, her childhood sweetheart did not go with her, like she asked. So once everyone leaves and walking out of the castle, Gale goes over to Dula, and she's looking a little sheepish. She's like, Great Aunt Dula, did you go home during the gap?
Oh, yes, I did. I did at some point. Let's see, it was about the, third year, perhaps?
Did you ever see Idrai there?
Oh, of course I did. A try. Oh, they've grown up so much.
How are they doing?
Let's see. Jimmy, do you just want me to make up stuff, or?
Oh yeah, I have nothing for this guy.
Okay. Do you care if it's a guy?
They, she, he, I don't know. Doesn't matter.
Well, let's see. I believe Idrai was just getting into... I remember. They were getting into, what did they call it? A innovative way to weave, I believe. They were working on something with their, why did I forget what it's called? A weaving machine.
Loom?
A loom! That's it. They were working on something with their loom. It was very, very, well, I suppose it would be innovative. They had all of these attachments they added to it. I certainly would not have been able to figure out how to work it myself.
Yeah, I remember them getting into that when I left. It's nice to hear that they're doing well. This is gonna sound dumb, but did it seem like they missed me?
Oh, Gale, of course they do.
I don't want to go home. 'Cause do you think I'm a coward for being afraid of Idrai?
Oh, Gale, I don't think you're a coward. I don't believe there's anything for you to be afraid of.
It feels silly to be afraid of going home.
Well, everyone has their fears, and we just have to work up the courage to face them. And if you need someone by your side, I am here for you, Gale. I hope you know that.
Thank you.
But I'm sure there's things you could do to sort of, I suppose, soften these worries of yours. Perhaps you could send them a letter.
Maybe. Maybe though. I feel. But what if they've moved on, or? But.
Then perhaps it's better to find out sooner than later.
Okay. I'm going to send them a letter. Okay.
This is incredibly cute.
Yeah, it was. Phoenix is absolutely
Not in this scene.
No, whatever the training room, wherever the training room is in the castle, wherever.
Who do you want to be sparring right now?
Let's spar.
Oh
yeah,
my gosh.
you can spar with, yeah.
Let's get some Nyx and Phoenix roleplay.
Alrighty, okay. I would like Nyx to know beforehand. You can tell Phoenix is not in a good mood. There's a lot. It's not. There's a lot of things going through their head. It's just.
Yeah. I would say Nyx is also not in a good mood, but is gonna try to pretend like Nyx is in, or I'm in less of a bad mood to try to cheer you up.
I was just gonna say, Phoenix is always kind of used sparring as the clear the head. It's kind of their family thing. So, no going easy is going on right now.
I do want to say real quick, I found names for my weapons, but I'm not sure if I want to reveal them right now, or just reveal them in battle or something, at a dramatic moment.
I'll show you mine if you show me yours.
Okay, I'll send a screenshot.
Okay.
Sir Sabermore has a sword named Lakelight. Hallister, you all are legendary heroes with legendary weapons.
Mm-hmm.
Hallister has a battle axe named Cleaver. Caspian's bow is called Heartbreaker.
Of course it is.
Oh, what is the name of the sword pulled out of a tree?
The sword that was pulled from the sacred tree was called Veritas. It shattered. It was broken by the enemy during the war. Currently, the sword that Kamail is using is Heaven's Spine.
Ooh.
The Sword of Godric.
Should we all reveal names of our weapons if we have them?
Yes. Say names.
I want to wait till a dramatic moment, not gonna lie.
Oh no!
But...
Okay.
You can if you want. I'm going to.
I got too excited.
I'm sorry. No. I
just do whichever one is your least favorite.
You have multiple?
Okay. Well, my trident's name is Fork.
Amazing.
That's horrible. I love it.
Incredible.
Phoenix's Hexblade, the Pact of the Blade, is their special sword, which has I want to name it something else, but it's originally called Shadow Spike. But I imagine if Phoenix calls it probably the Kiss of Mariella.
That's cool.
Yeah, so Kiss of Mariella is kind of the thing.
Yeah, I like that a lot. Gale, originally it was called the Great Sword of Wounding. That's the magic weapon that I have. But it actually has two names. She has named it Peacemaker, because that's what she likes to do. She likes to keep the peace. But she actually didn't name it until after the people who she fought named it Reaper of the Hellbound. And she looked at that and was like, can we make it nicer, please? So she calls it Peacemaker.
Phoenix absolutely calls it Reaper of the Hellbound. That's Phoenix's thing. Phoenix's thing is weapons. I'm literally a Hexblade Warlock. My thing is weapons.
Lady Dula has not named her weapons. Arguably, her weapons are not very much weapons anyways, so...
Okay.
She doesn't have a sharp weapon at all.
Oh.
Wow.
She has a quarterstaff, a shield, and a net.
Dang, nice. Definitely in this moment, Phoenix sparring and just not having a good time. Not exactly sure why that is, but
If you two are sparring, I want you two to roll an athletics contest against each other.
Okay.
alright. Yeah, hold on one moment.
Oh no.
It's not a nat 1,
Oh no.
but it's not good!
I got a
that's
15.
3. That's a 3!
Okay, I will say that Nyx is winning the duel by a pretty wide margin.
But Nyx isn't like going all the way hard, I want
Yeah.
to say. Like, I'm not I'm just trying to help you feel better right now.
Which, it's very obvious, it's just, that might also be one of the things frustrating, because Phoenix doesn't like to kind of be baby, gets that enough from, like, Rena's little sibling, kind of deal, like, overshadowed, but, like, also just, they're so upset, they originally were just going
Well, let's roleplay this.
Yeah, no.
Tuck it out in actual character.
Yeah.
Phoenix had original, so you would probably come in when Phoenix was just starting to get set up, because Phoenix was originally just going to do it by themselves.
Yeah. Care for a match? And I pull out my my trident fork. Also, I want to say the trident has like in like white engraving across the handle. It says fork.
You missed the opportunity to call it a threak, but
A what?
A
a
three.
freak.
A freak?
It's a trident.
Because it's a
Oh,
trident.
three.
It's not a fork, it's a threak.
Oh no.
You know what? I used all of my intelligence to talk about time travel paradoxes, so.
Phoenix doesn't use the Kiss of Mariella, even though that's their thing. They instead have one of their hand axes, just a regular one. They don't have a name for it.
Mhm.
And they're just like, sure. And they take a swing at you, and it's wild. It's one of those swings that one can pick up pretty quickly. That this is not the finesse you normally see when they're fighting with the Kiss of Mariella and actual like tournament. This is pure anger, frustration, just getting out there.
I would say probably because you're like just wildly like just trying to wail on me rather than like actually like using good combat techniques and stuff. It makes it so it's a lot easier for me to, and that makes the rolls make sense. Like it's a lot easier for me to just like block the attacks that are like clearly signaled and stuff. And yeah, and I can just casually talk while I'm just blocking your attacks because we're level 15. I can look like a badass for a bit.
Yeah, sword banter.
And,
Get some sword banter in there.
Yeah, I'm like, so how have you been lately? I didn't really get to hear much about your adventures.
I didn't have any. And another swing and a miss.
Oh, I see.
Not all of us get to go out and stuff like that. Some of us have to stay wall and
Yeah, I can imagine that could get pretty exhausting. Have you considered talking to the High Prince? And although like Nyx is very good friends with him, I think that Nyx is still gonna have a little bit of that like reverence towards the title because we worked so hard for you to get that title that like.
Yeah.
that's cute. At the mention of Kamael, it seems like a myriad of emotions just kind of flips over and it's like, I'm not gonna mention it to Kamael. He has enough on his plate already. The dominant expression mostly on Phoenix's face tends to be anger. It's just something they picked up, and so that was kind of like there was a lot going on there. Kind of hard to understand. it looked angry, but it also looked kind of sad, and there's a lot of things going there, and...
Yeah.
Nix, if you want to roll insight, you're welcome to, but I won't make you.
Alright, I'll go ahead and roll insight.
Do it.
Phoenix,
roll deception.
I rolled 13 minus 3, so 10.
Okay, let's see. I actually have, that deception is charisma, yeah?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah?
Yeah?
That's a 16.
Yeah, hard to tell.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I guess I just keep on blocking and just keep on going. Yeah.
You're kind of the one that goes out, have a good time. What are you sparring for?
Oh, it's good to get some practice, especially given that we are just about to go out over there. Don't want to cause a war or anything, but just in case something happens.
Yeah. You kind of got get out on the stick.
Yeah, I guess you could say that. Yeah, definitely. And as I kind of say that, I kind of feel a stumble in a block, and you nick me a little bit.
Trauma.
Alright, yeah. I mean, Phoenix probably already has some already. Phoenix has kind of just been going in there with a hand axe. So.
Good. I push it off, and I'm like, good one. And I keep on wailing out. It's not like I don't know. It's not like I don't want to see them. Everyone's on good terms and stuff, It just, I don't know. I think I do one more, with the handle of the trident, I sweep out your legs, and I point the trident at you as you're on the ground. I'm like, well, I may be small, but I can put you down to my size. And
Damn.
I hold out a hand to you to help you back up.
Phoenix is definitely breathing hard, a lot harder than they should be considering. And they grab your hand and just kind of use it a little bit just to prop up, and then they stand up because they're
That's
tall.
not going to give you much height.
But they also don't want to just pick you up. And then they go, no kidding.
Well, that was still a good spar. Do you want to keep going, or...?
I think I need some time to do myself, and I need to get out of my head.
Alright, well, if you need anything at all, you always know that I'm happy to chat with you. It's been a while, and I go to, I feel like, my brain was like, oh yeah, I pat your shoulder, but that probably is...
You pat, the knee.
Yeah, so, I feel
knee.
like maybe, how about this? I have, some affectionate, sort of pat or something that I do with you guys that, is, that has become, patting you guys on the shoulder, but, maybe
Yeah.
pat on the knee or something.
Yeah.
But you guys
Yeah,
know
because
that...
if you put your hand up, you're kind of at the exact level to kind of ass pat us. So not that.
Slap your... Yeah, no. This is not a locker room.
Okay, but the Knights of the Inner Circle absolutely did they do have a locker room.
Oh yeah, we
Oh yeah,
definitely
we've definitely had to share,
You can't tell me Sabermore doesn't at some point.
Oh, for sure.
Well, there was definitely, barracks and stuff.
Yeah, exactly. Sabermore.
There is no personal privacy in the military.
But also, you were an adventuring party together for 2 years, so you did just
Yeah.
walk together across the nation.
We did just go camping together. So.
Yeah. Extended camping.
Yeah.
From what I'm gathering of Nyx is a little bit more polite and proper, even if we're all we went across the nation together, trekking for 2 years kind of deal.
I don't know if Nyx is polite and proper, but I would say that Nyx is definitely very affectionate.
Yeah.
I hope I haven't like seemed too polite or anything. Maybe that's just Robin rubbing off on my character.
No, you've been doing like the good mix, yeah.
No, yeah.
I feel like Gale and Nyx would have been really good friends when Gale was really small, but now that she's grown up a little bit older and like realized Nyx is like 99, Gale's like, oh, that's a weird age gap.
Meanwhile, Phoenix, like again, it was like Phoenix, Cameo, and Gale were all about the same age.
Yeah.
They were the group babies.
Yeah, I was gonna say they were the babies. So.
Oh, shoot. What's it called when, like, you just come out of a breakup and you, like, fall back on someone? What's that called?
Rebound.
Yeah. She for sure had a crush on Kamael as a rebound.
Yes, I'm loving that we're, willing this incredibly complicated group dynamic into existence.
The fan art, though.
If you haven't figured it out, Phoenix has some feelings that are just, nope, slotting that away.
Oh goodness, all the fanfics that are gonna...
Raise your hand if you had a crush on Kamael. Half the knights raised their hand.
Listen, Phoenix knows nothing's ever gonna happen.
Camael's just like, is that the only reason you joined me on the quest?
It turns out that a lot of them did swear oaths to him, not because they're like, wow, we believe in your causes, high print. They're just like, wow.
How many of the people in this party then were like underage when we started?
Look, it always starts as a harem anime.
Oh no, their campaign was a low-key harem anime.
Oh no.
That's how it started.
I can say, for a matter of fact, Phoenix has never breathed a word of it to anyone. If you are able to pick up on it, yeah, but...
I wish I could say I would've.
Yeah.
But I have low wisdom and a low insight, so absolutely I would not have picked up on it.
I got a 17 to try to pick up on it.
Got a nat 20, holy shit. I'm picking up on it.
Oh!
Thank you, Robin Mag and I'll Never Tell 3, for supporting us through our Patreon. If you want to support our podcast as well, you can head over to our website, mxpcrew.com, where you can find our Patreon link on the very first page. We offer shoutouts to our patrons, as well as behind-the-scenes information and monthly stickers. You can also find us on TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, and Tumblr for all your social media needs. If you like our show and have been thinking about podcasting yourself, I highly recommend starting on Buzzsprout. MXP started on YouTube, and let me tell you, it was extremely difficult uploading 1 to 2 hour long videos at a time in a timely manner. But working on Buzzsprout has been insanely helpful and fast. Buzzsprout helps you list your podcast in every major podcasting platform, as well as provide super affordable monthly payments. I totally forget that I'm paying for it because of how cheap it is. You even get a free, great-looking, pre-made website, audio players that you can drop into other websites, and my personal favorite part, detailed analytics to see how people are listening. If you follow the link in the description and sign up for at least 2 months, not only do you get a $20 Amazon gift card, but you will also be supporting our podcast as well. Thank you for watching, and we will see you in the next episode.